Welcome back to you, friends. Keep your back straight, keep your elbows pointy. Today, I want to have a look at what happened with XRP and the SEC, and I want to give you the real numbers in terms of what would be the worst case, kind of repeating the SEC returns for XRP for the PulseChain ecosystem. So this includes total HEX, PulseX, and Pulse. And I've made this chart here for you to show you exactly what's going on. Now, the XRP case is the only one we have to go off. Now, are things different now? Yes. There are lots of coins that are being targeted now. When SEC attacked Ripple, it was the only one. It got delisted off Coinbase, and it still went up with Bitcoin anyway because people just believed. But there were other coins going nuts, etc. Now, it didn't kill XRP, but it dampened. It dampened people's belief in it. I still think XRP was going to hit here anyway. That's just me. If you look at this chart, friends, this is crazy. If you look at how, I'm going to show you right now. If you look at this circle here, you see how basically XRP was just manipulated upwards. It was just like parabolic, absolute nuts. And if you go back and look at the SEC case around here, they actually caught Ripple, the founder, emailing the market maker. And he was telling the market maker, hey, we're going to release some news. Go to the market and start smacking it up the prices as this comes out. And what he was doing is he was basically grooming, manipulating the market and everybody to believe that the news was so bullish whenever good news comes out to keep pushing up the market. This is advanced stuff. I'm not sure if you know this, friends. This came out in the court case with Ripple. Funny, nobody talks about it. But I talk about it because I want to show you, friends. See, these are people running a company. Of course they know. Everybody's trying to scam each other, friends. So think about that manipulation, right? Now, obviously, we are against the SEC. They're clowns. But it is something to be aware of how it got up here. It was just basically market maker slugs it up. They release good news. Retailers keep piling on, up. And you see how there's no fair value red candles at all? The next bunch of red candles is basically down here. And that's why Ripple XRP came all the way down to just basically back around this fair value zone. So why I'm pointing this to your attention is if you look at this red arrow, we went up, but it's almost like we were never even meant to be up here for XRP. It was never even meant to be at this big zone at 100 billion plus market cap. This is around like the $2 range, $3 range, whatever it hit. All right. Now, here was about $1.97. Okay, this is the price. So, but what I'm looking at, this is the market cap chart. I'm looking at the right-hand side. So XRP peaked at around 90 billion market cap. So this is all we can go off. All I can confidently say is, all right, when the SEC is attacking someone or something, anyone affiliated with it, the most we've ever gone is 90 billion. That's XRP. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to tell you the numbers that HEX, PulseX, and PulseChain would do if they exactly got there. All right. Now, I'm not saying they will. It's possible they only go half. I know we don't want to look at this scenario. It's possible instead of matching up here, expectations get met halfway. It's also possible you 2x it. So I'm going to continue. I'm just going to tell you the numbers right now. So for total HEX, it would be, so what I did was, okay, it's 36x everywhere. So total Richard Hart ecosystem, if you go to gopulse.com, which is right here, and you don't include the OA, so you exclude the origin address, you add up the market cap here, you add up the market cap here, and you add up the market cap for total HEX, all right? It's about 2.4 billion, around that, 2.4 billion, excluding that origin address. Now, I'm just trying to get a rough valuation for this. I know people say market cap doesn't matter. Well, how else am I going to look at it? Do you want me to just add the bids and offers? I think this is good to measure and look at everything together. So I just want to look at all data points, right? So this is why it's important. Total HEX would be 40 cents. Now, we don't know what the ratio is going to be. This could be 20 cents and 20 cents, EHEX, PHEX, right? I know a lot of people get upset even saying that. So maybe it's 30 cents for PHEX, 10 cents for EHEX. Maybe it's something like that. Maybe it's 30, 10, 20, 20, doesn't matter. Whatever it is, the ratio is. Just total HEX around 40 cents. Pulse would be 16x above day one sacrifice. By the way, if I said Pulse was only going to be 16x, and then look at PulseX. PulseX is only 5.5x above day one sac. If I told you these numbers in April, I think everybody would have come for the pitchfork. Come with pitchforks, come to burn me at the stake. This would have been considered the most offensive outright bigoted, outright anti-gender, anti-everything you can think of type of behavior to even speak of such low numbers. For PulseX not even to do a 10x. But this is what the numbers add up to, man. I'm not saying it's going to get here. I'm not even saying it's going to be reached. You don't know that. We don't know anything. I'm just telling you that based off XRP, based off when the SEC had attacked something, what can we go off? Okay, what gives us 90 billion? And you add up all the ratios, that's what the prices are. Now, what were our expectations and hopes going in this? Well, what we hoped, and look, I'll be honest, I don't speak for anybody, but I can tell you deep down, Richard hoped this too. He hoped that the subset of PulseX, Pulse, and HEX, because they are three different use cases. Okay, one you have store of value, you have HEXy, one you have the layer 1 Ethereum, and one you have the DEX, okay? He was hoping they would all be pluses. He was hoping that it would be PulseX plus Pulse plus HEX, and that would be three different valuations. But what has the market done? Unfortunately, this is just not my opinion. I'm just telling you, this is what the market did. The market said, no, you're all linked. You're actually all linked. And this does make sense from the people in the community, because everybody's under there. Everyone's there for Richard Heart principles, right? Whatever they want to label themselves as. So it's the same network of people. It's the same 200,000 people split in different areas. So that's what's going on here. We don't have 200,000 people in HEX and then another 200,000 people in PulseX and then another 200,000 people in Pulse. We don't. We have the same 200,000 people have all of them. Metcalfe's law, it's the same network. It's the same network of family and friendship, friends. It's the same network, all the nodes, okay? All RH, just RH coin. That's basically what it is. That's what the market's valuing everything as, okay? So this is why we get to these numbers that we get to, right? It's not saying that everything sucks. It's just that it's saying that, hey, all of them could be one coin. So another way to think about it is, if we just remained as HEX, if it just remained as one coin HEX, and there was a HEX chain, and there was a HEX economy and a HEX ecosystem, if it was just that, it would be $1.20 instead of 40 cents. That's another way to look at it. So that's what we're looking at when it comes to this. But at the end of the day, I mean, friends, I made these posts telling you as well, okay, well, firstly, they're just theoretical numbers. And, you know, this is the important part. I have said, try to avoid coins that the SEC is targeting. So I've even got it here, got this cute little, right, this cute little creature eating the little nibbly carrots. Look at this. I'm keep saying, keep nibbling away at your favorite alts, but it might be best to avoid SEC targeted ones. Now, I'm not selling, but I'm just saying keep an open mind. But what I've done is I calculate the hurdle rate for you. So to the target, we know, for me, it's about a 30 to 36x. So if I'm going to look at another coin or a community, that's the hurdle rate to me, personally to me. So if I'm looking at other coins, friends, look how low the bar is for everything, by the way. So this is XRP, right? XRP. Everybody has this $9 dream for XRP, but what if it just goes back to the top? That's a 4x. 4x, friends. Literally 4x. Look at the hurdle rate. 4x. What about if we go look at Link? Link? What about Link? It's about a 6x. You know, 6.5x. They ain't so great. You got a 4x, you got a 6x. And I mean, if you really want to look at bad stuff, we go to Bitcoin. What's Bitcoin going to do to get to like, let's say it gets to 87,000. That's a 3x, man. 3x. So I've got you 3x, a 4x, a 6x. Of course, devil's advocate again. People will say that they have rounded elbows, and of course you do, because what they're going to tell me is they're going to say, no, we're going to blow the roof off and go parabolic again. And I will unfortunately bring up the chart and show you this and show you why would we blow the roof off when we had, in this cycle, we had infinite QE, we had 0% rates, and we had 16 trillion in negative yielding bonds. Elon Musk shilled Bitcoin to the world. It was everywhere, and we still couldn't hit 100K. Why did we still diminish returns? It's because they don't matter as much as you think. All that matters is the expectations in people's minds, which means the expectations that people believe that this network is going to have a bigger upside for them. But what's been happening over time, friends, those people who caught on to the money printing scam early, they're already in. And then those people in the early majority, they're already in. And then Elon Musk and Michael Saylor come in here. Now they're already in. Who's left? It's just skeptics. Skeptics aren't going to make something go parabolic. When they're in, they DCA buy. You know, they've got 500 grand in their account. They'll put like $150 into a coin. That's how skeptical they are. These people are scared squirrels. They hold their little nuts, but they're not nuts. They're actually little sultana balls. That's why we're not going to get these parabolic action again. I wish we do, but unfortunately, everything says that we're not going to. That's why the hurdle rate of 30x is still amazing. It's still amazing. So I'm not saying this sucks for the economy. I'm just saying crypto's return sucks. But hey, you know, maybe you find something and then we get convicted next year. We think that the ecosystem can grow. Maybe. Right? Because obviously I love the PulseChain, PulseX, and HEX ecosystem. I'm going to keep an open mind. I've got other things we're going to be watching too. But nothing's out there yet. Not going to give up. We're waiting for the Bitcoin halving year to see if anything can come out. But this is the hurdle rate. If you can bring for me a coin, so a lot of people, friends, a lot of people just talk negative and talk smack. And I always ask them, okay, give me another coin that's going to get 30x. They go radio silent. They literally can't give me anything. And what I've also noticed, when people do open their mouths and they give me something that was already strong. So Matic, for example, is only down 78% from the top. To get back to the top, you got a 4x. You know? But obviously, people don't believe this. They believe that they're going to get like a $10 Matic. That's why everybody thinks they're going to get their 25x, the 30x, they're going to get a $15 Matic. That's what everybody believes is coming. And I'll say fat chance to that. Absolute fat chance to that. So you do have this opportunity. You have this choice. Where do you want to DCA buy? Hey, I'll be honest with this. If I could find stuff that, hey, I think something can give a 30x plus or even higher than 10, 15x, I'll be looking at them. But right now, we're going to have to watch this little cutie cute eat some carrots. Look at him just enjoying it. Nibbling away. You know, that's what it's come down to. So even though Link, see friends, Link isn't even targeted by the SEC. It's got a 6x. I hope it goes to $150. I know there's valuations. We'll probably get there eventually, but what if the 4-year cycle is broken? What if BlackBerry, what if they break the 4-year cycle? What if they get everybody to front run 2025 by buying in 2024? And what if something like that happens? You got to be prepared. And if that happens, that means we're basically getting a triple top on everything, where some alts go under the high, some alts tip the high, only a few alts actually really break the high, but they're all going to sink back down. Remember, it all comes down to this. Then they fight you. We are in the then they fight you phase. First they ignore, then they laugh. Those are the first 14 years of crypto. Now we're in the then they fight you phase. They're trying to fight us. Trying to fight us doesn't mean that they print money and start buying up our bags. That's not when they fight you. Then they fight you means is, right, something weird's going to happen in the stock market. Stock's going to get manipulated down. Crypto's going to go down. They know the correlation's tight. They used SBF, all this weird stuff with UST stablecoins, all these evil actors, people on chain, all these weird stuff happening with exchanges. There are obviously deep actors in there, friends, meant to crush it. It's the US dollar defending its sanctity. That's just what it is. So we've got to be prepared. We are prepared. That's why, you know, getting a 30x is going to be pretty good when everyone else is looking at a 2 or a 3. And don't forget, when we get up here, no one's getting out at their 4, 5x. What, you think people in Polygon are going to be selling for their 4x? No, they're not. Cardano, no one's selling there. What if it just comes back down? Then you got a round chip. So that 4x, it may as well be 0x. You may as well write 0. Because I know no one's been DCA buying. I know people with like, you know, 15K and say Cardano, they did not increase it to 45K. They just left it there. They're just going to hope for a higher target, same as every other coin. That's why you get an advantage by getting an increased position size when there's maximum risk, when there's maximum shadows. And don't forget, at the end of the day, friends, it all comes down to the people. We are the people. So it's all becoming down to the network effects, okay? So currently, got to remind you, how many people hold Bitcoin? There are 200 million people that hold Bitcoin. Remember, it used to be 30 million. Now there's 200 million. 30 million back in 2019, right? Now, there's only 200,000 people in HEX, Pulse, and PulseX. Yes, it's basically a Richard Heart ecosystem. You might say Richard Heart coin has 200,000 people. That's another way to write it, just not to confuse everybody. So Richard Heart has 200,000, right? So this is why I'm asking this poll. What do you think comes next? Do you think so? I'm conceptualizing what's going to double its user base. All right. What's going to double the user base, friends, faster? Is Bitcoin going to add 200 million people? Or is HEX going to add 200,000 to 300,000 people. What's going to happen first, do you think? The Bitcoin maxi people will obviously say they're going to add 200 million people because they believe that the righteous world, people in like Zimbabwe are going to come and be like, wow, let me get like 4 Satoshis from this Bitcoin. It's going to change my life. No, it's not going to change anyone's life, man. Even if Bitcoin does a 10x tomorrow, you change nothing. You just made those people rich. You made Max Kaiser and his 100,000 Bitcoin stack rich. That's all you did. You made Michael Saylor a bit more profitable and still getting destroyed to Google and all the other Ponzi stocks anyway. You didn't change anything, friends. They still print money. Still does the same thing. Didn't change anything. We just made people slightly richer. And yes, it is slightly richer because you're getting conned everywhere else. That's what happens. There's a big world out there. So at the end of the day, it comes down to the people who can. That's why if you look for the cult communities, they're going to be there when everything gets loud. That's the most important part of it, right? So that's why, look, everybody, obviously, everyone's hexagons. Everyone understands the game. Probably likely, Hex is going to add 500k people. But this is also interesting. If there's an overwhelming support of people saying Hex is going to add 500,000 people, we still see people saying, this is bad, this is bad. Yeah, I know it's bad, it sucks. But this is another way to think about it, friends. Because if you're doubling the user base, you're going to get 4x the growth. Remember, from Metcalfe's law, right? Your price, right? The change in your price is just going to be n squared. So if you're getting 2 squared, if you're doubling the price, doubling the user base squared, you're going to get 4x in your price. Now, that's just a 4x. That's nothing. You know, if we got Hex, Pulse, and PulseX to 1 million people, that's 8 squared. You're going to get, it's 8 times the user base. 8 from 150k roughly or 200k, 1 to 1.5 million people, you're going to get 8 squared equals 64x, right? That's why I halved it just to be conservative in my numbers, about a 30x. Because I just want to see, right, where's the worst case? You know, no coins ever hit over 100 billion with the SEC targeting, all right? And here I am, even pointing out for you because you're a baby doll baby cake, and I know all your elbows are very pointy and all your knees are very pointy, friends, and your ears are perked up. And I'm even spelling it out here for you. If you can figure out who grows the most amount of holders, and remember, it's a change of holders, the change, a number of holders is a multiplier, okay? If you can figure that out, then you've figured out what the price performance will look like. But this is where I'm here to uncover everything, to share with you what's in everyone's mind. They go, Bitcoin is a logo, Bitcoin's amazing. Yeah, it is amazing. But are 200 more million people going to think it's amazing before just another 500,000 people think they want to participate in Hex upside or some sort of Ethereum smart contract fancy land? That's how you have to think about the game. So as we look at these prices, you know, Pulse, PulseX, Hex, that's the hurdle rate, man. If you find any coins when you think, wow, I think this can moonshot, please send them, man. Please send them. I want to know, okay? I'm not here to tell you to do anything. I'm just here to tell you I'm sharp and on my game. If you can find for me anything, even a 20x, I think it's 20x is worth it. Like, hey, would you rather take 30x with the SEC risk or 20x without SEC risk? Hey, you'd probably take the 20x. But what I've found is the only coins people bring are coins that are already huge valuation or coins that are like 4 hours old that just launched on some dodgy new chain that no one cares about, which are just basically rugs and grifts. Hey, maybe the path becomes clear in 2024. That's ultimately what we're playing for, friends. Because me and you are always going to have our friendship. Tell mum and dad we love and appreciate it. And we're going to have some popcorn tonight. I'm going to catch you in the next one.